All right. It is officially October 1st. And for all of the relationship people out there, that means it is officially cuffing season. That's the fall into the winter where you find you a boo. Maybe stick with them at least through Christmas, try and get a Christmas gift. If it goes the full distance, it normally goes to February 14th, Valentine's Day into the next year. And then that's usually at the point where that's the end, and spring starts 5 weeks later in March. So that gives the man and the woman enough time to kind of start distancing themselves from each other and falling back from each other. Now that works if that's what they're both on, but when you got just one person on the whole cuffing season thing, then that's where it can get a little iffy, maybe a little out of hand. So if you're playing the cuffing season game, make sure the other person is playing too. Just from October to February, nothing else new. So yeah. So yes, today is October 1st, and it's probably people who are going to be getting together because the weather is going to be getting colder, and it makes people want to snuggle up for whatever reason. Women and men, they want to. It's real cold, depending on where you live. Not going to go out tonight. You're just going to chill at home, get a blanket. You might have a fireplace, get something to eat, talk, play music. That's it. And there's something about that whole cozying up. The winter weather, I think, does that. You got to put on the jacket, need a scarf. Sometimes you don't want to do all of that. You just going to meet up at either her place or his place and just take it from there. We're going to stay in tonight. It's cold. Don't want to deal with, you know, being out there in that type of air. So you just stay nice and warm, cozy at home. So it has this little romantic thing that comes along with it too. You all snuggled up, and then holidays coming. Halloween is on the way, and so you just do all of these little couple things, I guess. And that's you all just cupping each other for a temporary few months. If it goes beyond February 14th, then hey, but this whole season has been around for a little while. I've heard it mentioned in songs. When the time is cuffing season, stuff like that. And people just looking for somebody to be up under, until it gets warm again. And so, I mean, I guess that's cool. But then I guess we have to look at some of the reasons of why people I even want to get into just this temporary fling, if you want to call it. So I don't know if it's a sense of loneliness that men and women may have when it gets cold outside. Like I say, holidays, you're not having a significant other. So you're just trying to get with someone just for these next 5 months, just so or less, just so you feel wanted, needed, whatever void you have, trying to get another person to fill it for a little bit. Maybe they get you a Christmas gift. So now you feel special and not lonely. I don't know. And I think it's also a thing of people just not wanting to be alone for the holidays. I guess it just doesn't look cool. It makes you look like you just have no friends. Maybe you an outsider, you a lame, and so I don't have nobody to be around me for the holidays, and that's including even not having family. Some people are the black sheep, and so they at least want to look for at least one person, in this case who they're not related to be around each other for Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, somebody bring the New Year in with, stuff like that. Just makes them feel different, I guess. The holidays is a can be a very depressing time, and so cuffing season, people get involved in that, even if it's not going to be long term. At least I'm not alone on Christmas Day, so I think that might play a part in it. And then remember, it is temporary. Like I said, February 14th, that's the last date, Valentine's Day, and that's when, if that's what that person is on, this whole temporary thing. Hopefully, the other person understands that, because then after February 14th, then somebody, if not both, starts to fall back. There becomes a distance. because they're trying to get you out of the way with, because spring is coming in March that next month. And once it gets warmer and the flowers come out and the leaves showing the trees, you start running into people sometimes you don't even know live in your neighborhood. Somebody's going for a run or a jog and they stay right around the corner from you. So it definitely opens up possibilities of new people to date come March. And so that cuffing season, February 14th, that's the last date. It doesn't have to be, but that's usually what cuffing season is about. Just someone for those next 5 months, October through February, and then that's it. Going into the new year. And then the other thing is, do people actually have long-term relationships with they fall in a winter mood? Can it actually last beyond February 14th? And I'm sure in some certain cases it has, but the whole reality of this whole cuffing season is just something temporary. It's just something to fill the void, make her feel good, make him feel good for a little bit. And some people not necessarily into that, especially as you get older. So they might want to avoid the whole cuffing season thing. Or for some people, it's perfect because it's eventually you can just cut the strings. I won't say there's no strings attached for 5 months, but eventually you can cut the strings come February. And you don't have to deal with that person. You all might circle back around summertime. You might stay friends, but it never gets into anything serious. I've even heard about people meeting people when it's hot outside, like in June maybe or July. They got a better chance of maybe staying together because they outside, they meeting around the time where it's warm, and you got all of the, I'll just say, distractions out there. The guys looking at these ladies, the ladies looking at them guys, people choosing on each other. And so if you all choose each other while it's hot and still go into cuffing season, I've even heard people say those people got a better chance of lasting a year or more versus people who meet now that it's getting cooler and you just looking for somebody to snuggle up to, and that's about it. It's so quick and fast. It's just temporary. It doesn't go anywhere. And so that's one of the things about this whole cuffing season that you really got to be careful in terms of your emotions and if you're going into it and how you want it to play out. Do you understand that this is just for these few months, at least through New Year's Day? That'll give you the 3 months, October, November, December. Or are you looking for more? Do you want more? And I'm not saying it can't extend past February, but cuffing season doesn't have the best track record for that because it's not meant to be anything long lasting. And that's what men and women have to remember. If you meet somebody, either you met somebody today, October 1st, or you're going to meet somebody later on this month, and just see exactly where it goes, what they own, just because it's fall now. And so people just looking for something for right now, not long term. Put all of that out in the open. Because cuffing season can get your feelings hurt. If that person starts to fall back and you thinking, okay, it's been 3 months now, 4 months, Valentine's Day coming up, and that person's thinking past you. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep that in mind as well. As if anyone who's trying to meet somebody new starting this month in October for the rest of 2024. You don't want anybody out here getting your feelings hurt or feeling like they was left in the dark, like you didn't know what it is or what it was. And so now you're upset and now you're complaining about the opposite sex again, and the whole gender war is back in full effect. Not that it's left anywhere, but now you just continuing the war because cuffing season was something that you didn't know you was getting into with that person. And so it's definitely, it's definitely crazy in terms of how we approach these whole relationships and people who just want something for a short term versus those that are looking for long term. And I guess men and women have to make sure they let that be known because sometimes these things fall by the wayside and people get caught up in things and don't really put out their intentions or what they're dating for. And then that leads to more confusion. I'm gonna share my screen and I want you all to see this little picture I found about how cuffing season is supposed to go. Get the sharing going. Here we go. Now this thing here, it said this is the official guide for cuffing season. Now this starts way early in the summer. I didn't know about these dates. You see it's got scouting, drafting, August, September, looking for a potential partner, pick your top candidates. This is for me. This is for men and women. I didn't know about the scouting and the drafting. I just found this. And so what I'm more knowing about is the tryouts. October 1st, that's today. So you got men and women trying out. You go on dates with the people you pick, your top candidates. Then November comes. We got preseason. So you kind of narrowing it down. The men and the women are. You get more serious with one or two prospects. That's also Thanksgiving. The tryouts is during the Halloween month, so you can see who's behind the mask, I guess. Now here we go, preseason, Thanksgiving, and then cuffing season, started a new year, and so you pick your best match, and then it just be y'all two for the holidays. You let everybody else go. That's December 1st to January 15th. They don't have December there, but that's the 1st of December all the way to January 15th. So you get after Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, New Year's Day, who you bring the New Year in with. Now, we in the new year. Let's just say this is 2025. And it's January 16th through February 12th. That's 2 days before Valentine's Day. So if you all can survive the holidays and maybe see if it's going to be long term again, cuffing season is not about long term. So this could be the end right here for all men and women listening. Don't think the playoffs is going to lead to this championship game the day before Valentine's Day. And then y'all first date on Valentine's Day is going to lead you all into spring and summer and something long term. I'm not saying it can't happen, but this is not what cuffing season is about. This is usually, the last hurrah. You won the championship, and now it's off season, and no one's getting re-signed, breaking up the team. Just comparing it to basketball, NBA basketball. That's normally how cuffing season goes. It's not continuing. We still playing no. Then it says offer boyfriend, girlfriend status and celebrate Valentine's Day together. Now you all might do the Valentine's Day together, but the status will still be single at the end of the way cuffing season normally works. Now, if you all find a glitch in your cuffing season and it leads to something real and true, hey, more power to you. But you first need to make sure the person you meet in October this month is not playing in cuffing season. They playing in the same league you are, where this is going to be long term and we want to repeat. So this picture is funny. I found just how they got everything all mapped out from summertime in August all the way into the next year. So that's, that was interesting. But like I'm saying about cuffing season and the dangers of it and people getting their feelings hurt, men and women, you thinking it's going to be long term. I want to play something from this lady who says you should avoid cuffing season at all costs. Fair use, YouTube, fair use. All right, here we go.
Did you know that there are 5 seasons in the year and not just 4? There's spring, summer, fall, winter, and there's cuffing season. You didn't know? Well, let me catch you up on it, on what it is and why you should stay away. Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Justine Fulano and I'm back with some good old dating and relationship advice. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell button in the right corner so that you stay up to date with my latest videos and don't miss out on anything. Cuffing season is another awesome word that was invented by our culture, and it refers to the months during October and February where single people are more likely to settle for a relationship just so that they don't have to be lonely during the winter season. And a lot of women think it's all fun and jokes until they catch feelings and the guy's not interested. Okay? So here are my thoughts on why I think.
And that can work both ways. There's guys that'll catch feelings too, and the woman not interested. So be careful.
Cuffing season is stupid and you should stay away from it. Number one is pretty obvious, and that is that you are settling. We tend to get into relationships with people during cuffing season that we wouldn't even be interested in if we had all the choice in the world. Let's be honest. So why now? It's because you're settling, because you're like, oh, I might as well just get with this guy and keep myself warm over the winter season than being all by myself and having to entertain myself. This type of thinking will just lead to one broken heart. If it's not yours, it's definitely not a bee's kiss. Number two is that you're blocking your blessing. Let me tell you something. God is a God that does not need barbecue season to introduce you to your godly husband, okay? He can introduce you to the man of your dreams at any time, any place. So if you're wasting your time with the cuffing season guy instead of keeping that seat next to you open so that guy can introduce you to a great man during a holiday party, while you're Christmas gift shopping or anywhere else really, you're sabotaging your life and blocking your blessing. And number three is that it's not real. If you think cuffing season will spare you from those uncomfortable conversations with family and friends as to why you're not booed up yet, then you're mistaken. Men already have a hard time committing to the person they really like. How much more unlikely is it then that your cuffing buddy will actually join you for dinner at your parents' house? Very unlikely. A relationship that you build on a whim just to escape the holiday blues is not real and cannot be compared to a committed relationship between two people that truly invested into it and are committed to it. And that honestly just brings me to the fact that using a man to try and avoid the loneliness that you're experiencing in this season is the wrong way to go about it. What you really need to do to overcome loneliness is to learn how to capture your thoughts and reframe them in your mind. It's one of the 5 methods that I describe in my new workbook, 5 Simple Steps to Quiet Your Mind, which you can download in the description box below. Just use the link, download the free workbook, and learn how to overcome loneliness without needing anyone else and doing it all by yourself. Number 4 is probably the most important one, and that is that it's bad for your spiritual and emotional health. You have to understand that every person that you allow into your life eventually affects your life in some form or fashion. They will either be a good or a bad influence, or they will either build you up or tear you down, or they can add to your life or distract from your life. As a single woman, you have to protect your heart. That means only allowing people into your life that will help you to stay on the right path and help you to become your best self. With cuffing season, you're doing the exact opposite. You're making a decision solely made out of desperation. And a lot of times, the guy you end up seeing ends up hurting you. And that can take a really big toll on your spiritual, mental, and emotional well being. So don't do this to yourself. And number 5 is that you will get hurt. I basically already mentioned it in my last point, but I want to reiterate it again. And that is that I can guarantee you, if you spend a lot of time with a man, you will catch feelings and eventually get hurt if he's not on the same page at the end of cuffing season. It doesn't matter how hard or cool you think you are, it's normal that we bond with someone that we spend a lot of time with, and you don't want to do this to yourself. Instead, enjoy the holidays as a single woman and work on yourself so that when spring and summer comes around, you're ready and prepared to receive a man that truly wants to be with you and is not just trying to waste time. I really hope that you ladies think about these reasons that I just mentioned and avoid cuffing season, because in all honesty, having to rebuild yourself after a failed relationship, no matter if it was cuffing season, a situationship, or a long-term relationship, is really hard. And I don't think that 4 months in winter are worth the pain. If you have any thoughts or comments on cuffing season, please share them with me in the comments.
Okay, so you all heard her. She definitely made some good points about cuffing season and the dangers on both sides. It can hit the men that way too. Somebody's not on the same page as you after February 14th, come February, yeah, you could get hurt. And she said, being with that person and taking them around family and friends for the holidays, they probably won't go because that sends the wrong message because they're not trying to get serious with you. And so why am I going to go sit at, your family's for Thanksgiving when I know I'm not trying to do anything long term with you? I don't want to send the wrong message to you. I don't want to send the wrong message to your family and your friends. And you won't become sitting with mine. So like she's saying, you really, don't want to get your feelings hurt. Find out what you own. If you own cuffing season, that's cool. Make sure the other person is too. That way, no men are overreacting and getting their feelings hurt, and no women are crying after Valentine's Day needing tissue for their feelings. Because it can go both ways. And she's speaking for the ladies. But yeah, she just gave you some tips on why you should avoid cuffing season. And, she made some good points. For some people, it works, especially if you travel a lot, you're busy, and you just need somebody or just want somebody for October through February when you can get to them, you know. So, yeah, it's mental health, emotional health, spiritual health. All those can definitely take a hit if you with someone that's on that whole cuffing season vibe and you're not. And then, like I say, something about the end of the year and holidays that make people feel different. You may be thinking on a parent that's no longer here. Maybe you lost a child, all sorts of things, lost grandparents, not close with your family to begin with, and then just having someone else come temporarily, and that's not what you own, and then it really crushes you. And then you get depressed every time the end of the year comes around. People are already depressed as it is. So she's definitely made some good points in terms of why you want to avoid cuffing season if that's not your goal. Now, for the men and women who are on that, then hey, have at it. They know what it is, and no one will be looking crazy come February 15th. Put it like that. So just know, ladies and gentlemen, what you are getting into for the rest of 2024. If you are single right now, and do you want something long term or you just want to fall/winter boo? Either one is okay. Just be honest with yourself. And if you just want to fall winter boo, it could change by the end of December. Let that person know. Now, don't get upset if they say, "Hey, that's not what we agreed upon." So, you know, be ready for the letdown. And then, if you're having trouble meeting people in person the old fashioned way, I don't know. You can always consider this show right here. If you can get on it, you all probably done heard about it. It's getting real popular. Pop the balloon or find love. I personally wouldn't go on here because I don't want to give nobody that much power over my dating life with a balloon. And to be honest, you got people on here looking for clout too and for some attention. The people who they pop the balloons on, if they met in person without ever being on the show, they may look at them differently. But being on the show that's this popular and cameras on you and people looking for an opportunity, it kind of makes us be extra picky on people that we normally wouldn't have. But yeah, this is another route that people go, and they say they trying to find love. I don't know how many of these, uh, the winner and whoever gets picked, I don't know how many of them end up in a cuffing season type of situation where it doesn't last. I don't know. I just know a lot of people, men and women, are going on here. And you got women popping the balloons on men, and men popping the balloons on women. And, I've seen a couple episodes that can get crazy, you know, and this could be a last ditch effort if you're really trying to find that blue, because people get tired of, what they seeing in person in their city for whatever reason, the places they're going. And so, whether it be a dating app or a dating show, they trying to find love any way they can. So, it's up to you all. Again, be careful about cuffing. If that's not what you want, make that be known. And that way, no one gets their feelings hurt. It's getting cold outside. It ain't cold yet, but it's coming. If you live in Midwest, Northeast United States, things like that, Northwest, Washington over there where Seattle is at, yeah, it's definitely will be getting chillier. And if you're looking for somebody to snuggle up to, just make sure you all on the same page. And that part is that's the fact there. No feelings involved right there. You will get your feelings hurt though if you don't lay down the facts of what you're expecting. So that's it for now. Are you in a cuffing season situation, about to go into one? Is that what you on? Have you been in one in the past? How did that work out? Are you tired of cuffing season? Please put it in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. And the channel is Facts of Feelings, all one word. Put that in a YouTube search engine, Facts or Feelings, no spaces. My channel will come right up. Go ahead and subscribe. And happy love hunting. I am out.